If a person becomes enlightened, do the laws of karma apply to that person? Or do the three gunas, sattvic, rajasic, tamasic, have an effect on that person? The straight answer is no. The straight answer is no. That person goes beyond karma. As Vivekananda said, far beyond name and form is Atman ever free, untouched. In fact, Advaita Vedanta says, even before enlightenment, right now, your real self, the real you, is completely untouched by this world. But you don't know it. And not knowing it, what happens is, we think we are this body and mind, which are completely under the spell of karma. And hence we suffer. We suffer along with the body. There is that Brihadaranyaka verse, Atmanam ched vijaniyat ayam asmiti purushaha kimichan kasya kamaya shariram anusanjvaret. If a person realizes that I am this Satchidananda, then desiring what? For what purpose? One. And for whom should I continue to suffer along with the body-mind? If a person realizes, I am this Satchidananda, which is beyond body and mind, then two things. Desiring what? That means nothing in the world is but worth chasing for that person. That person has attained the culmination, the ultimate fulfillment of all desires permanently. So there is no particular thing for that person to chase for personal fulfillment. Nothing else remains. That this will make me happy. No. I am happy. I don't need anything in the world. I'm a billionaire. Why do I need welfare? It doesn't add on to me. And the second thing is, even deeper, for whom? You see, the one which we are trying to fulfill, this person, we don't investigate what this person is. This person is an illusion. Vedanta tells you this, Buddhism tells you this. That the Buddhist doctrine of anatma, not self, and the Vedantic doctrine of I am not the body and mind. It tells you this individual whom I am trying to please all my life, this individual does not exist. It's a ghost you are trying to satisfy. It's an endless black hole you are trying to fill. It will never be satisfied. What you have to do is not solve the problem, dissolve the problem. This person will never be free. Never. Don't look so shocked. This person, called Sarvapriyananda, can never be free. But the real I can be free of this person. You can be free of the person you think you are. Okay, so this is a direct answer to you that the three
this
gunas, sattva, rajas,
Perfect
tamas,
sense.
dark, dull, lazy, destructive, tamasic, that personality has no effect on the Satchidananda right there. Rajasic, a person who is restless, active, dynamic, wants this, wants that, loves, hates, fights in the world, troublesome to oneself and to others, Rajasic. That personality has no effect on the self, Satchidananda, which you are. And a calm, serene, spiritual, holy personality, Sattvic. That person also has no effect on the self, Satchidananda. And when these three gunas rotate, tamas develops into rajas, and rajas stabilizes into sattva. Sattva degenerates back into tamas. When it rotates, you remain unaffected as Satchidananda. So this is a direct answer, but there's as you can think, there's an indirect answer lurking in the somewhere. The indirect answer is this. If you observe from outside, that person seems to be affected. The enlightened person seems to be affected. The effects of karma will play out on the body-mind. So the person may get sickness. The unpleasant things may happen to that person. What was to happen according to prarabdha karma will continue to happen. You can't stop it. Can the enlightened person stop it? No. The enlightened person can't stop it. But the enlightened person has the option of, why should I suffer along with the body-mind?
So what Swami is saying, I definitely agree with. Once you get to a certain level of enlightenment, you don't continue to accrue karma after a certain point in time. And there's a lot of people that have this philosophy as well. like Dolores Cannon, she even said that there's some souls that come to this reality, and then once they get here, they don't want to, they have almost a shield over them that blocks them from karma. These are probably highly advanced souls that have already achieved enlightenment and are just here to help, just for the purpose of helping. And they came under the condition that they're not going to accrue karma. They're just going to come here. They're going to help. And they don't want to get trapped into a karmic cycle on this planet, which has happened a lot of times. And then there's other souls that don't necessarily have a shield that protect them, but they do have what they call a proclivity to not doing things that will accrue karma. So some people just want to come into this plane of existence. They don't want to have kids. They don't want to do certain things. They just want to come here, do their job, and then leave, and then they're done. So if you have kids, you can accrue a certain ties to this planet, certain karma. It's not saying that you're going to get trapped here if you have kids or anything like that. That's not what I mean. But you can develop a certain level of karma if you go about it in the wrong way. And they're just people that they don't want to take any chances at all. So I'm sure everyone watching this knows someone like that, where they don't want to have kids. They don't want to do certain things. They don't want to have certain jobs. They don't want to be around certain people. They just want to come down here, do their job, and then go back to spirit and go back to those higher planes of existence. So I definitely agree with what Swami is saying. And for a long time, I've always said that you're not your mind and you're not your body. Before I even studied or began studying these different sects of Hinduism and Advaita Vedanta and, learning about Brahman and Ishvara and all these different awesome terms, I would always say that you're not your mind and your body. Even if you go back and listen to my older meditations, I would always say this. That's why I was saying that I was practicing this sect of Hinduism and Vedanta before I even knew what I was practicing. So that's why it's so awesome for us to be learning this and getting a different perspective as Westerners and truly learning about Hinduism, which a lot of people do believe is the most ancient religion that there is. So
yeah, I mean, it makes perfect sense to me. If you think about it, enlightenment is almost the opposite of karma. Karma is getting attached with either your actions or your emotions or your feelings, attached in a way that isn't the higher ground. And it does have to do with your body a lot too. And I actually truly feel that sins, all sins, the 10 Commandments, the 7 deadly sins, I believe they weren't these things that were meant to say, oh, if you do this, you're just doomed for eternity, you're going to hell. I believe that they were a system of a guide, essentially, to warn us what things can get us attached in the karma loop. If you look at all the 10 Commandments, there are all these things.
Yeah, greed.
Especially the 7 deadly sins as well. Those a lot have to do with your body, right? You're feeling like you're just your body. You don't see yourself as a higher being. So you get jealousy, you get greed, you get envy, you have overindulgence, eating too much, gluttony. These
Envy,
are all
gluttony, greed, avarice, lust, pride, sloth, wrath.
Exactly.
So it's all those kind of things, being angry, having that anger within you, sloth,
Yep.
just being lazy at all times.
Exactly.
And all those things just go back to things that can accrue karma. And whenever you're acting like that, if you're being lazy, you're not acting on your highest self. You're not being your highest self. So then you're not learning the lessons you need to learn. And then you're going to have to come back and learn them. If you're just pure anger all the time, just angry, you're uncontrollable, then again, that's what's going to happen to you. And you're not going to be able to control yourself. You're going to have to come back and relearn those lessons.
Yep, precisely. And an enlightened being would never indulge in any of those type of emotions or actions, would never overindulge, be angry, be jealous, envy. None of these things. These are all the things that warn us that don't get mixed up into these 7 deadly sins, because this will accumulate karma.
Exactly. Even, pride and having an ego where you don't want to listen to what anyone says. You think that you know what's right all the time. You think you're always correct. This stuff can hold you back greatly, and it will. That's why I always tell people to be careful, man. Be careful about what you say. Be careful about what you do every single day. If you have a bad day, okay, but if you start spiraling, you have bad days, bad weeks, bad months, you're just putting yourself in a position to come back. And if that's what you want, then your wish is your command, because that's what you're going to get, because you're subconsciously telling the world and yourself that you're not ready. You can't handle it. It's too hard for you. You can't handle it. You can't do what you need to do. You're not ready in this life. So you're going to waste a whole nother life. And then you're going to have to come back time and time again. And you don't want to do that, guys, especially if you're in a good position. We have people that are helping you. You have guides that are helping you. All these people putting their time and effort into helping you, and you just don't care enough because it's too difficult, too hard, because you're too much of a sloth. You're too lazy. You're too prideful. You have too much greed. You have too much envy. You're too jealous. All these things, these worldly things, are distracting you from your true purpose and your true reality. And you should be staying as far away from that as possible. So thank you guys for watching.
Thank you for watching. If you like this video, definitely check out the ones on the screen. You'll love those. Make sure you subscribe, and we'll see you in the next video.